Okay, so this is a video that is searched a lot on how to make a photo winterized. And I've been seeing a lot of photographers trying to sell these tutorials for $200 to $500. And I don't know, I find it a little ridiculous because you can find how to do it on YouTube or a blog or anything for free. And it's so easy that I just felt like I should, I can share it to you guys right now. So go ahead and open up your image that you would like to do this with. It works best with something with a lot of scenic. This one has a good path and some trees around it. The more background scenery, the better. Because if it's a close-up, then you're not really going to get as much of an effect that you want. So something that has a good solid background to it. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a new layer. And you're going to get your paintbrush, and you're going to make sure it's on white. And I'm going to overdo it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do full occupancy. And then I'm going to just paint white. Be careful around them. You don't want it to bleed too much. We can go back in and erase out anything that is too much later on, but the less work, the better. And I'm using the bracket keys, of course, to make my brush smaller and bigger. The fastest way of doing it. Make sure you get in between their legs. I'll have to come back later and make sure we get everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in a couple of different layers. I'm going to do a ground layer, and then I'm going to do a background tree layer. And I find that, because the image is more blurred and there was more highlights in the background, that you're going to need to be able to edit them separately later on. Okay, so after you've painted in your white, double click on that layer over here in your palette, double click it, and it's going to bring this up. So easy. Take the underlying layer, drag it over. Just keep going until, about there. And then what you're going to do is, on a Mac, you're going to hold Option, and then you're going to select the left side of this little pick, and then you're going to drag it out here. It's going to start blending it out. And then you can drag this one over a little bit. Start blending that so that way it's covering its highlights and the shadows evenly, looking more natural. Alright, I'm going to hit OK on that, and then I'm going to come over to my palettes, and I'm going to bring the occupancy down a little bit here. Looks good. So you can see here in between the legs where it kind of doesn't look as natural is because it's too far into the background. So what I'm going to do is, I don't like to erase things unless I have to. So I'm going to create a layer mask, and click this little button here, and it's going to give you a white palette. You're going to make sure you're on your brush. Make sure your brush is black. I'm going to push X to change it on the palette shortcut. I'm going to use my bracket, and I'm going to kind of erase it. It's not erasing, it's just hiding it on your palette. And that's what layers are. Okay. So now I'm going to make another layer, another empty layer. I'm already on my brush. My brush is white. We're on the new layer. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the background layer. Just kind of fill it in here. Maybe go into the trees a little bit. I think I'm still going to try to do separate layers on my greens for the most part, just in case. Make sure you get those little spots in between the legs, between the arms. It's going to be a little funky if there's a little bit of green sticking out somewhere. Sorry, that was my phone. Okay. I'll have to go back in later here and make it more fine detailed. So double click layer, drag this little guitar picking over. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That background is going to need to be blended out. Alright, on a Mac, I'm not sure what it is on a PC, I'm sorry, you'll have to find it. I believe it's Alt on a PC. Option or Alt drag your pick to blend in your shadows. Look at that. Oh, perfect. Don't do it too much. Blend in your highlights a little bit more. Looking great. Perfect. Okay. So I might bring it down just a little bit. And then what you can do is here is you're going to come in and take a look at their feet. And this is where you can come over to your bottom layer, that's your foot layer, and just kind of fill in. It's not too bad. And then, of course, if you click once, hit Shift, click your connecting dot, it'll make a straight line for you. Good shortcut to remember. Perfect. Not perfect, but good for this. You can obviously spend a lot more time. Make sure you're getting it perfect in every little aspect. Oh, you gotta remember to get in between the legs here. You don't want that one little spot. There we go. His legs. Oops, he's trying to text message me. Anyway, so you can go in and fine detail everything around the legs, make sure, you know, it doesn't look too funky. And that your secondary layer is up here. Come in here and make sure you get around their legs and their arms. I'm going to put those greens into the third layer. Alright, looks good. Alright, so let's go into our third layer. You may not necessarily need 3 different layers, but I find that with the color differences and such, it's nice to be able to control each aspect differently. So I'm using the bracket key to make my brush big. Paint on that white on that third layer that we've created. Try not to get their faces and their hair. And just kind of paint it in. I suppose another way you could try to do this is by selecting them and making a copy, and then filling a white layer behind them. But I find this is probably a little bit easier, that way you're not going in and trying to find every little hair and detail that you missed in your first selection. Whoops, I'll have to take that out. Remember to get inside the arms. We'll get a better... I'm just doing it a little quickly here for you guys. You guys can obviously spend a lot more time making it perfect for your clients. And I'm sure there's different ways of doing this, faster ways of doing this, or maybe just plain easier ways. But I just can't seem to justify charging somebody $300 to learn how to paint white in. Alright. Everybody, as I said, has different ways of doing it, but this is what I find looks most natural. Alright, come in here, click your guitar pick tool, bring it over. Can Option or Alt click that side, drag it into your, these are your shadows, drag it into your highlights. Here we go. Okay. Bring the occupancy down a little bit because it's just kind of looking. No, don't do that because your greens are going to be like that. And then let's go in here. And you can go in and you can fix all those little glowy parts. Don't forget these glowing parts that you missed with your brush because it's going to look funky. You need to go in and make sure you get all around their arms. So I'd rather have a little white bleed into them than have a glow around them. As I said, this is also just not perfect. I'm going to do a shortcut here. It's the click, and you click one spot, hold shift, click to your connecting spot. Makes a straight line. starting to get into my bottom layer here. Let's make our masking layer black. It's already there. I'm going to go in. I feel like I kind of, nope, never mind. Let's go ahead and put masking at 50%. We can kind of, nope, not 50, how about 30? 20? Just going to blend. Oh, that looks funky. Let's not do that at all. Anyways, go in and make sure you get all around their hair and all the glowy spots, because we don't want glowing halos around our subjects, because that is not how it works in real life. So what I would do is I would spend some more time here, and I would make sure I got, you know, all the glowing areas, all the spots between, between arms, and erase some off of the hair. It looks like I got some strands here. I'd spend some more time on that, but it'll take a lot forever, you know, a little too long for a simple tutorial for you guys. So you have that. This actually looks like the unedited photo of this family. Let's see here. Let's kind of feel like it's a bit much highlights. Alright, anyways, so you can spend a lot more time fine-tuning and all that such. And then go ahead and make a new background layer. I know there's another shortcut for this. And right-click, merge visible. So now you have your winterized and your non-winterized. So now we're going to hit the half moon, and you're going to do, let's try vibrance. Let's bring the vibrance down just a little bit. And go ahead and take that, take a black brush, use your bracket keys, and make sure you bring back your subjects. We are at 20%. Let's make sure it's at 100% by hitting 0 on your keyboard. So bring them back in, spend a lot more time than I'm going to do this. Make sure you don't make any halos, which I am actually making around her leg right now. But do a little bit better of a job here. So now we got a little more blue. Let's add some blue. So we're going to come back down to our half moon, color balance. And let's bring some blue in, because winter is more blue than it is green. And it's all up to you what you do in this final background image. It's just any little thing. When you think of snow, you think blue colors. You think a little desaturated. You don't want a big sunny photo. So as you say, I'm in here and I'm erasing the blue so that their skin tones will go back to normal. Their skin tones are actually a little warm for this photo, but as I said, I think this is the unedited photo. Alright, so pretend you spend a lot more time on that, make it a lot better. Then you want to go in, yes, my junk bar is junky. Let's do snow overlay. And you can find a lot of people who just give these away online. One second, I'm a little, here we go, here are all my snow overlays. Here we go. Take it and drag it over. Okay, that didn't work. What did it say? Could not play snow because a JPEG marker segment link is too short. Okay, so that file is not gonna work. Here we go. Let's use that one. See if that works. Okay. Looks like This folder might have accidentally been deleted. And these are just, yeah. Sorry about that. Let's see if that works. There we go. All right. Here's your snow overlay. Make sure you have it in a better spot. You can drag it. You can make multiple incisions, whatever works best for you. Once you do that, go to normal overlay. Nope, not overlay. Screen. There you go. And you've got some snow coming in there if you want the snowfall. And then you can obviously add more in your small chunks of snow. So all this really is a brush, white brush dotted against a black background. So you can make your own snow layers as well. Go over here, go to screen. Here's some seed, and I got the small ones, and the big ones. Change your occupancy to like. Now remember to always, for the most part, make a new layer, brush, mask out the snow out of their faces so we can see their faces. So mask, black brush over face. Whoop, there they are. There we go. We don't want any blur on their faces. So there's a quick, simple way of doing it. Take a lot more time. Make sure you get it better around them. Blend it in as you want. We're going to flatten the image, and then we're going to go to history just so you can see it. Hit the camera tool, and this shows you your before and after. All right, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Now we need to stop.